Man, we moving timeshares like Silverleaf and shit. Man, we full of that AI over here, man. Kind of lame, West.
Welcome back to Piers Morgan Uncensored. It was a question that gripped the world. Who killed Tupac Shakur? The 25-year-old rapper, considered one of the most influential artists of all time, was gunned down in Las Vegas in 1996. Well, on Friday, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was indicted on one count of murder with a deadly weapon in relation to the killing.
Once you got the region, I got the ducking.
Dwayne Keefe D. Davis was indicted on one count of murder.
Tupac pulled out a gun.
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually see a gun?
No, shit. Once you got the region, I got the ducking.
This was indicted on one count of murder with a deadly weapon in relation to the killing.
No, shit. Once you got the region, I got the ducking.
So Orlando shot across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window, popped. He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window, popped. On the window, we rolled down the window, popped.
Who was it?
They was drove on my side. I was popped them. You know what I'm saying? But they was on the other side.
Metro 360 News in the building, and it's your host with the most, John Mack, a.k.a. Mindbender. Here to bring you that news that the others just can't bring. You know, something fresh, authentic, and right off the top of the dome. So let's build and talk and build, make understanding of this build, and stack bricks on top of bricks. Hey, and just to remind you, we can't put a triangle in the center of bricks. It doesn't work. Must balance. In the famous words of my man, Johnny Cochran, if it don't fit, you must acquit. So let's get to it. So, you know, ever since Keefe D been arrested for the murder of Tupac Shakur, which is a reach, Mr. or Mrs. DA, by the way, there has been some subtle nuances that we will get to right now before we commence any further with this segment. So, the judge's name in this case is, I think, Tierra Jones. How ironic, Jones. Right in the midst of Jones, we dealing with Crack 100, whose real name is Cash Jones. The name's always Jones. You just watch this, you know, foolish shit. I also noticed that Sharita Knight's brother's name was Norris Anderson, the gentleman who allegedly rented the 750IL BMW for Suge that night. I always thought that was Suge's new car or his car that he owned. I didn't know that it was a rental, and I didn't know that his brother-in-law, Norris Anderson, rented that vehicle for him. Now, the funny part about the name Norris Anderson, because obviously I didn't know Sharita Knight's maiden last name, which now I know is Anderson. That doesn't ring any funny ass bells to you with the name Baby Lane Orlando Anderson? The same funny ass bell that rings to me when Trayvon Lane whispers in Tupac's ear about Baby Lane. Get the fuck out of here. But this whole case is funny, bunny as fuck. But let's get to the nuances, okay? So, I never really quite paid attention to in depth of what Keefe D was saying when he said this, but he was prominent and he meant it. He said, I pass the gun to the back seat. Vlad then answers, So, did it look like Tupac was reaching for a gun? Because you mentioned that in your book. He said, yeah, he looked like he was reaching. That's why I got to ducking. So, how could you simultaneously hand the gun to Baby Lane, Pac notice y'all and start reaching, you get to ducking, and then somebody randomly, one of the two, your nephew or Big Dre, starts shooting at Pac? But allegedly, in the middle of all that, Baby Lane had enough time to say, I ain't got no clear shot at him, and hands Big Dre the gun to then aim out the window and shoot and kill Tupac Shakur. But wait, Keefe D said if I would have had a strap, I would have popped him. But then he said Tupac got to reaching, and so he got to ducking. So how would you have popped him if you got to ducking, Keefe D? Explain that to me. Explain how it's okay for Baby Lane to shoot across a nigga 4 times the size as Terrence T. Brown. Or maybe because he wasn't driving, it was okay. So we gonna get gunpowder all over Big Man shooting across him? Get the fuck out of here.
Random shots across Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window, popped.
Who was it?
They would drove on my side. I would have popped them. You know what I'm saying? But they was on the other side.
If they was driving on my side, I would have popped him. Get the fuck out of here. This nigga right here, man. There's another type of agenda. But let me start off with my first theory. My first theory is that Keefe D will beat the case. The DA is charging him with first-degree murder, not with an accessory to murder. He plainly say he handed the gun to the back seat. He plainly say he started ducking. So he plainly couldn't tell who was shooting, allegedly, or who wasn't. And if it was self-defense, if Tupac was reaching or not. Because they claim that they never found a weapon in the vehicle or whatever the case. But Tupac has been known in the past for shooting 2 off-duty police officers. You know, there's multiple footage of him at the gun range practicing shooting weapons. So they already deemed and thought that he was a violent person already. His music talked about guns. He was already shot. So all kinds of different little measures were in play like that right now. And obviously Tupac Shakur is dead, so he is not here to defend his word or honor. However, Keefe D is alive. And I don't know if Keefe D has aggravated charges on his record. You know, all his records are sealed. So when you try to look up Keefe D's past, I mean, it shows limited information. It doesn't say whether he's a perp or, you know, working for the FBI, CIA, one of those boys. But he most definitely is a hired person working for some sort of alphabet boys, some sort of, you know, dark, shadowy alphabet type of boys that's really not connected. Somebody like the JDL or something like that, you know. And if you think that the JDL is above having black people work for him, you're a fool. There's black Jews out there, first of all. Second of all, they don't mind making us be patsies to ourselves. That's what they've been making us do for years. Especially if this case is fake. Especially when I look at Tupac Shakur's eyebrows and nose. Let's just be honest here. Not to mention that him and Eazy-E were under some sort of extortion from the JDL at the time of their demise. And these are facts. So, once again, Keefe D wants me to believe that Baby Lane, after getting kicked in the head with sharp-ass dress shoes by big-ass niggas like Montreal and Heron and Neckbone and Suge Knight, all putting foot to his head, back, and ass, Keefe D reportedly saying, repeatedly. Man, they was kids. Montreal and them was grown-ass men kicking that boy on the ground. And what kind of buster is Trayvon Lane? Oh, I bet you he's hardcore. That's the same dude had DJ Quick shook and hiding in the bathroom at a party at his sister's house. But let me say this, and I mean this. I'm not saying that Trayvon is soft or hard or soft. I don't know, but we ain't never really heard from him other than when he wanted to speak on DJ Quick. You know, as much as you say that Tupac was your homie, man, we ain't never heard nothing from you or some kind of federal protection down with Reggie Wright Jr. Reggie Wright got that boy on silent somehow, man. Let me tell y'all, Reggie Wright ain't no joke, man. You see me here on the internet giving Reggie Wright Jr. a hard time and fucking with him, calling him a fat pig and all kind of shit. But in reality, Reggie Wright Jr. is a federal agent. And Reggie Wright Jr. has somebody fucked up real quick. That nigga had the entire Memphis Grape Streets taken down under federal indictment. What you think he could do to your singular ass? A lot of people tell me often, Mac, man, you really need to watch out fucking with Fat Reg. Fuck Fat Reg, nigga. I'm from L.A. That nigga has an unfair advantage, just like Keefe D said. That nigga has the police having his back. Them niggas is fucking funny and fake anyways.